Turning Pain into Purpose, the Transformative Power of Resilience. Welcome to a journey of transformation, resilience, and the incredible power of the human spirit. Today, we're diving deep into a story that will challenge your perceptions, ignite your passion, and perhaps even change the course of your life. This isn't just another talk, it's a call to action, a wake up call for anyone who's ever felt broken, betrayed, or lost in the darkness of their own pain. I have the extraordinary privilege of sharing with you the profound insights gained from an interview with April Holt Smith, a visionary entrepreneur, a beacon of hope, and a living testament to the transformative power of resilience. April's journey isn't just inspiring, it's a roadmap for anyone who's ever questioned their worth, their purpose, or their ability to rise above life's most crushing blows. Imagine for a moment standing at the edge of a precipice. Behind you lies a path strewn with the wreckage of broken trust, shattered dreams, and soul-deep pain. Ahead, nothing but uncertainty, a void so vast it threatens to swallow you whole. This was where April found herself not so long ago. She had experienced the kind of betrayal that doesn't just break your heart, it shatters your entire world. Friends, family, even those she held closest to her heart, they had all turned their backs. In those dark, suffocating moments, April questioned everything. Was she worthy of success? Did she have what it took to not just survive, but thrive? Was there any point in even trying? But here's the thing about standing on that precipice. It offers a choice. You can let the pain push you over the edge, or you can use it as a springboard to soar. April chose to soar, and in doing so, she discovered a profound truth that would change not just her life, but the lives of countless others. God doesn't waste pain. Let that sink in for a moment. God doesn't waste pain. It's not just a comforting phrase. It's a paradigm shift. It's the difference between seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and recognizing yourself as the author of your own story. It's the key that unlocks the door to transformation, to purpose, to a life lived with passion and meaning. April's journey from that precipice to where she stands today is a testament to this truth. Her first business, Butterfly Cosmetics, wasn't just born. It was forged in the crucible of her pain. It wasn't just about makeup. It was about transformation, because that's exactly what was happening in April's own life. She was being transformed from a place of hurt into the woman she was always meant to be. But let's pause here for a moment. How many of us have faced our own precipice? How many of us have felt the sting of betrayal, the weight of self-doubt, the paralysis of fear? I see those nods. I feel the energy shifting in this room, because we've all been there, haven't we? And that's why April's story resonates so deeply. It's not just her story, it's our story. It's the human story of falling and rising, of breaking and mending, of losing and finding ourselves. It's a story that reminds us of our own resilience, our own capacity for growth, our own ability to turn pain into purpose. So, what changed for April? How did she go from questioning her worth to walking boldly into her purpose? The answer lies in three powerful shifts that I want to share with you today. These aren't just abstract concepts. They're practical, actionable steps that each of us can take to transform our own lives. First, April stopped waiting for validation. Think about that for a moment. How often do we put our dreams on hold, waiting for someone else's approval? How many times have we dimmed our light because we were afraid it might make others uncomfortable? April realized that the only validation she needed was the fire in her own heart, the conviction in her own soul. This shift didn't happen overnight. It was a process, a journey of self-discovery and self-acceptance. April had to learn to trust her own voice, to believe in her own vision, even when no one else did. She had to look in the mirror and see not just her flaws, but her potential. She had to become her own biggest cheerleader, her own staunchest supporter. And you know what? As she began to validate herself, as she began to trust her own instincts and believe in her own worth, something magical happened. The world around her began to shift. People started to take notice. Opportunities began to open up, because when you truly believe in yourself, when you stand firm in your own worth, the universe can't help but respond. Second, April stopped looking for permission. This is huge, folks. We live in a world that often tells us to stay in our lane, to play it safe, to color within the lines. But April understood that greatness doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait to be invited to the table. It builds its own table. Think about the dreams you put on hold. because you were waiting for someone to give you the green light. Think about the ideas you've shelved because you thought you needed more credentials, more experience, more something. April's journey teaches us that the only permission we need is our own. This shift required courage. It required April to step out of her comfort zone, to take risks, to face the possibility of failure. But it also opened up a world of possibilities. It allowed her to innovate, to create, to build something truly unique. Because when you stop waiting for permission, you start creating your own opportunities. And third, April stopped apologizing for dreaming big. How many of us have felt the need to downplay our ambitions, to make ourselves smaller so others feel more comfortable? April decided that her dreams weren't too big. The world's expectations were too small. This shift was perhaps the most liberating of all. It allowed April to dream without limits, to set goals that scared her, to envision a future that seemed impossible. And here's the beautiful thing. As she allowed herself to dream bigger, she began to achieve bigger. Her confidence grew. Her impact expanded. She began to inspire others to dream big too. These three shifts, stopping to search for validation, ceasing to ask for permission, and refusing to apologize for big dreams, they're not just April's story. They're the keys to unlocking our own potential, to stepping into our own power. They're the foundation upon which we can build lives of purpose, passion, and profound impact. But here's where it gets really interesting. April didn't just apply these principles to her business. She applied them to every aspect of her life. And that's when things really started to change. She began to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities. Every setback became a setup for a comeback. Every closed door became an invitation to build her own house. And every critic, they became the fuel that stoked her fire to prove them wrong. Now, I want you to imagine for a moment what your life would look like if you embraced these principles. What would change if you stopped seeking validation from others and started trusting your own voice? How would your world shift if you stopped asking for permission to be great and just stepped into your greatness? What mountains could you move if you unapologetically pursued your biggest, wildest dreams? I can feel the energy in this room changing. I can see the light of possibility flickering in your eyes. Because deep down, we all know this truth. We all have that voice inside us, urging us to be more, do more, become more. But here's the catch, and this is important. Embracing these principles isn't always easy. It requires courage. It demands resilience. It calls for a level of self-belief that many of us aren't used to exercising. And that's okay, because growth isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about taking one step forward, even when you're terrified. It's about choosing to believe in yourself, especially when no one else does. April's journey teaches us that this kind of growth, this kind of transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, a beautiful, messy, sometimes painful process, but it's a process that's worth every step. Now, let's talk about purpose for a moment, because that's really what this is all about, isn't it? Finding our purpose, living our purpose, becoming the fullest expression of who we were created to be. April's story shows us that purpose isn't always clear from the beginning. Sometimes it's hidden in our pain. Sometimes it's disguised as our biggest challenge, but it's always there waiting for us to uncover it. For April, her purpose was revealed through her pain. Butterfly Cosmetics wasn't just a business venture, it was a mission to help other women transform not just their appearance, but their self perception, to help them see the beauty that was always there beneath the scars, behind the pain. And isn't that beautiful that our deepest wounds can become our greatest gifts to the world? That the very things that once threatened to break us can become the foundation upon which we build our legacy. This is the power of embracing our story, of owning our journey. When we do this, we give others permission to do the same. We create a ripple effect of authenticity, of vulnerability, of strength that can change not just our lives, but the lives of everyone we touch. Now, I want to circle back to something I mentioned earlier. Remember when I said that God doesn't waste pain? This isn't just a platitude, it's a promise. It's an invitation to see our struggles not as punishments, but as preparation, not as setbacks, but as setups for something greater. April's story is living proof of this truth. Every betrayal she faced, every moment of doubt, every tear she shed, none of it was wasted. It all became part of her testimony. part of her strength, part of her purpose. And the same is true for you. Your pain, your struggles, your setbacks, they're not the end of your story. They're the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter where you get to decide how the story unfolds. So, what do we do with this knowledge? How do we take these lessons and apply them to our own lives? First, we need to embrace our story, all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, because it's in owning our story that we find our strength. It's in acknowledging our wounds that we discover our power to heal not just ourselves, but others. Second, we need to stop waiting. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect version of yourself. The time is now. You are enough just as you are to begin. Third, we need to dream bigger. Whatever your dreams are right now, I want you to multiply them by 10, by 100, by 1,000, because you are capable of so much more than you've allowed yourself to believe. Fourth, we need to act with boldness. Bold dreams require bold actions. So take that step, make that call, start that business, write that book. Whatever it is that's been tugging at your heart, do it, and do it with everything you've got. And finally, we need to remember that our journey isn't just about us. It's about all the lives we'll touch along the way. It's about the legacy we'll leave. It's about the change we'll create in the world. As we come to the close of our time together, I want to leave you with this thought. You are not defined by what has happened to you. You are defined by how you choose to respond. You're not limited by your past. You are liberated by your potential. Your story, with all its twists and turns, its highs and lows, is beautiful. It's powerful. It's purpose filled. And the world needs you to live it out loud. So I challenge you today. Take a page from April's book. Stop waiting for validation. Stop looking for permission. Stop apologizing for your dreams. Instead, step boldly into your purpose. Use your pain as a catalyst for growth. Let your struggles become your strength. Because when you do, you won't just change your own life. You'll change the world around you. You'll inspire others to do the same. You'll create a ripple effect of transformation that will go far beyond anything you could have imagined. Remember, you are not just the author of your story, you are the hero of it. So make it a story worth telling. Make it a story that inspires, that uplifts, that changes lives. As we conclude this talk, I want you to take a moment, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what pain in my life am I ready to transform into purpose? What dream have I been holding back that I'm now ready to pursue with everything I've got? What step, no matter how small, can I take today to start living my story out loud? Open your eyes. Feel the energy of possibility surging through you. Because this isn't just a talk, it's a turning point. It's the moment you decide to stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the architect of your destiny. You have within you the power to turn your pain into purpose, your struggles into strength, your setbacks into comebacks. You have the ability to create a life of meaning, of impact, of profound fulfillment. And the world is waiting for you to step into that power. So go forth from here, not just inspired, but ignited, ready to face your challenges head on, prepared to turn your wounds into wisdom, determined to use your unique gifts to make this world a better place. Because your story matters, your voice matters, your dreams matter, and the world needs you, all of you, now more than ever. Thank you for joining me on this journey of transformation. May you leave here not just changed, but charged with a new sense of purpose, a new level of courage, and an unshakable belief in your own potential. Now, go out there and turn your pain into purpose. Go out there and change the world because you can, because you must, because you will.